I did it again. Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today's video, I am scared. Now, I usually say that I'm scared. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but this time, genuinely, I have no idea. Let me introduce what I'm making. Today, I am going to be making the armor pieces or the gold pieces on this costume that I'm making. This costume is from a game called Love in Deepspace, which is a dating / fighting game. And this is technically her fighting outfit, I guess you could say. And I'm making the whole thing. I don't know why I do this to myself. I genuinely don't know. It's like my brain wants to one-up itself from the last thing. Anyways, so this video, I'm going to be making all of her gold arraignments, which I'm just gonna call her armor pieces, even though they are shielding her from nothing. I have never done foam work. The closest thing I've done to working with foam is I've made foam flowers. I've made Belle's enchanted flower, or the Beast. Beauty and the Beast enchanted flower. You could actually check out my video because I made a video on that. And I also made a flower for Tiana's green dress. I don't know if I have a photo. If I find one, I'll put it on the screen. That's the closest I've gotten to foam work. I have never done something like this before and I am terrified right now. But we're gonna go one step at a time. The first step is to cut the foam out, yeah? So I have all of my pattern pieces. I have her back piece, which was the hardest thing to pattern out because you can't see it. And I only can get my references from in-game. I can't take any pieces off to see anything in detail. So I'm working with what I got. And so this is the shape I got for her back piece. For her waist piece, I have this here, plus this. It goes on the bottom like that. I have her head piece. I did this one already so I could test it out because I'm terrified. But here's her chest piece that goes right there. This is part of her neck piece, which I will show you that in a little bit. But this is part of, or no, is this just separate? This might just be separate and it's just on her back. And then I have this piece. I'm going to cut foam in this shape, but this is for the sewing video portion of this costume. Not this video, but this will also be getting foam cut. And then I have her leg piece. The way I got these cut out is I used a phone app, like a free sketching app. I traced out the shapes as best as I could, and then I used this website. I don't remember the name. I'll put it on the screen. This website, and it can help you get it to the measurements you need it. If you want a more in detail explanation, I am making her sword too, because didn't I say it's her fighting outfit? It comes with a sword, and I'm gonna make it. So I have to do the same process that I did to get these pattern pieces. So if you want more info on that, I can do that in the sword making video. I don't have a 3D printer, so I'm going to be sculpting all of these to the best of my ability. I have some foam clay and I have some foam. That's all I got. Let me show you the neck pieces. So here is the neck piece. Now, at first, I just started with this white piece and I did it with a duct tape pattern. You can see it here, duct tape pattern. When I tried to cut it out of the foam, it would not lay straight because, you know, it's on a curve on the shoulder. And this part specifically was not laying down. And this front piece or the back piece was not laying flat. And so I couldn't get it to lay down. And then I realized, watching people make foam armor, they do this sort of thing. So I did another duct tape pattern and did this, just a full neck pattern. And when I cut these pieces and connect them together, then I'll sketch the patterns from this pattern piece onto these and then cut it out. Is that making sense? I'm hoping that made sense, just a little bit, because this is so finicky. Do you see all of that tape on it? Oh, you kind of can't. Okay, I had to keep piecing it together because it kept breaking apart. So I'm hoping this works, because this is one of the pieces I'm really worried about because it's so small. There's so many holes. But did that make sense to you guys? I feel like I rushed this intro for some reason, but I hope all of that made sense to you guys. So let's go over materials. As I said before, I don't have a 3D printer. This will all be hand sculpted by me. I know, I'm insane. First, I have this foam. I don't know what thickness it is. It's either 2 or 3 millimeter thickness EVA foam. And then I have this foam, which is 5 millimeter foam, and foam clay. This brand. I've never worked with foam clay. I have no idea how I'm gonna do this. I've tried to look up so many videos on how to work with foam clay, all this stuff. I'm really scared, but I've learned. Heat seal, you gotta prime it before you paint it. You gotta, I don't know. I will try and be calm. Is the panicking coming off to you? Because I feel like I'm talking 10 times speed. Let me calm down. Okay, I've had a few people say they're gonna make this costume too, so I'm not alone. I'm not the only crazy person. So I'm going to tell you what I'm making out of the 2 millimeter and what I'm making out of the 5 millimeter. I cut this out of the 2 millimeter and I cut 2 pieces because there are gems here. Oh yeah, that's another part. I've never used resin before, and this is gonna be the first time I use resin to make all of the gems on this costume. I even bought mica powder so they can be very pretty. Never used that before either. There's a lot of new things I'm doing for this costume.
I'm gonna skip through this whole section that I'm talking about the thickness of the foam, because while I was making these pieces, I realized the thickness of the foam did not really matter. Because if you go the route I do and use foam under it and then put foam clay on top, the thickness of the foam doesn't matter because you're layering more on top of the foam. The only thing I would say that matters with your underlayer is that to make sure it's thick enough that your foam doesn't rip while you're cutting your holes and stuff into the pattern pieces. But other than that, it really does not matter.
Anyways, guys, I will stop rambling now. I will pick up my X-Acto knife that has not been used for years because I am clumsy and I'm terrified. I don't know if you guys watched my mushroom hat video where I refused to get a box cutter when cutting out the circles because I was scared of hurting myself, when I in fact did with the way I was cutting it anyways. Okay, that was a dumb idea. See? This is why I don't use box cutters, because that will happen. Let me get a band-aid. I've patched myself up. Let's get back to it. Good times, good times. I decided to suck it up and be a grown-up and use the X-Acto knife. And I'm gonna use a Dremel for the first time. Life is crazy. We're gonna go to a montage of me cutting all of this foam out. Are you guys ready to see this whole costume? Because I am. Okay, sorry. Oh my gosh. I haven't even done that much and I don't want to do it anymore. I only cut these two out and this. Did I really cut nothing else out? I don't want to do this anymore. Why do I have to use an X-Acto knife? I want to use scissors. But you have to get all these precise cuts. Can you see that? Those precise cuts. Scissors can't do that. I can't believe that. It felt like I cut out 5 pieces and I only cut out 3. Oh my gosh. But this looks good. Her little hair piece. Yay. Okay. I'm taking a break. I'm tired. Bye-bye. Good morning, everyone. I have finally cut out all the pieces. Here's the back piece, for example. And now I don't know what to do. I'm lost. I know the things I have to do, but I don't know the steps in which I'm supposed to take it. Let me take you through what I'm supposed to do. For some parts, like these 2 pieces, I have to connect them with, I have some contact cement here. I've learned that that's the best glue for foam, I guess. And so I have to connect these and then I have to let it dry. And I have to connect all the neck pieces so I can then cut it out. But I have to wait for these to dry also before I do anything else. So there's that. For all of the pieces, I have to start sculpting on top because the pieces are not flat. They're 3-dimensional. I know I have to sand it too, so the edges aren't as rough, I guess, which I do have a Dremel. There is a Dremel acquired, but I've never used one and I don't really know if I should wait till after I sculpted on top or after I sanded the edges, which maybe I should sand the edges first. But then there's another problem. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Before I sculpt, there are gems, right? There's gems in the pieces. I don't know how I should go around those pieces. If I should make the resin pieces first and then sculpt, or sculpt and then make the resin pieces. Because I only have this mold and I need about like a bunch of these. I need a bunch of this shape and there's only one in this mold, and resin has to cure 24 to 48 hours. I don't want to wait that long. I'm so confused. This is the first time I have been genuinely stumped on a project. I know the first thing I should probably do is glue the pieces that need to be glued together, which is only these 2. The neck piece and the chest piece. At least I know I have to do that. Next, I don't know. Maybe I should try my hand at sanding some of these edges down. Should I? I'm scared, guys. I've never done this before. And then I'll try sculpting with the foam clay. I'm just gonna do what I said. And if I run into a problem later, that's for future me. Right now is me doing what she can, right? Or should I make the resin pieces first? Here's the game plan. Here's the game plan. Because I want to work on this. I'm so tired of not working on it because I've been busy. I'm going to mix the resin. I'm going to fill what shapes I need, let those cure, and while those are doing their thing, we're gonna glue these with contact cement. I should do these first so the glue can get tacky. Connect them, let those dry. Actually, how long does contact cement? Oh, you don't need to wait. You just need to wait for it to get tacky. So that probably means we can sculpt on this and we can cut this out and sculpt on this. Oh, that's so nice. Okay, we're getting a plan. We're getting a plan. Okay, so while the contact cement gets tacky, we will make the resin, let this cure overnight or however long it needs. I will do research. It's okay. Calm. I will do research. And then this is the problem. This is the problem. But we'll figure it out. Oh wait, I forgot about sanding. Okay, while this is curing, we'll sand and then sculpt on top. Yeah. I think I got it. I have to head downstairs because you need to be in a well-ventilated area to use contact cement. I have learned. I have watched so many cosplayers use this, and now it's my chance to get to use it. The same with the Dremel. You don't want to breathe in foam particles. Can you tell I'm nervous? I'm probably going to be silent for this whole thing because one, there's other people in the house and I don't want to talk to myself in the house. That's a little scary. But also, two, I need to focus. I need to focus so I don't mess anything up because I am dealing with a lot of materials that should be taken with precaution. I will follow the instructions. I will do my best. Okay. Are you ready? Here we go. I think I'm not going to use the resin simply because I'm a little scared and I just want to work on it and I don't feel like waiting for the resin to cure. I just have too many pieces to make and waiting like 2 days for each oval and I need like 5 ovals. I'm not doing that and I don't want to spend more money. What I'm gonna do instead is use hot glue. Oh, reliable. I realized I didn't have a mold for these diamond pieces that I have to make, so I tried it out of hot glue and it looks pretty good if I do say so myself. And I tried putting mica powder on one of them and that looks like a jewel if I've seen one. It does look like hot glue. I'm gonna put more mica powder on it. That was just a test, but it looks pretty good to me. And when it's surrounded by all the gold and everything else, I think it'll look pretty good. And then I'll seal it with Mod Podge or whatever shiny sealant we have and have it look like an actual jewel because I want to get started on this project together. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Oh my gosh. If I was making armor, but see how it does that? It's supposed to be like that. So I'm gonna have to heat form it. Can you tell I'm holding off on the dremeling by doing the hot glue next? Yeah. Onto the gems. I feel like this was a mistake. This is taking so long. It doesn't help that my glue gun is old, so it only heats up this part of the glue stick. So while this one is here, I have to wait for it to heat up again here. Maybe I should have just tried the resin. I may be the problem. But I've already started. Might as well continue. Hopefully it looks good because look at that. That's not looking too hot. If I don't like it, we still have the resin, so it's okay. I'm gonna continue doing this even though it's taking forever. Okay, I finished the major pieces. There are still like tinier gems that I have to add, but the hot glue worked out pretty well. I did make them a little thinner, as you can see here, because this is the first one I made. It's pretty thick. I did not need them that thick. This one's fine because, you know, the sculpting will probably hide it. Pretty happy. Here's the one that I practiced the mica powder with. It looks pretty good. It'll look better when I put the Mod Podge on it and all that. And I made a little tiny one. And here's the shell. You honestly can't see many of the details of the shell, but maybe when I add the powder, it'll get in the grooves and stuff, and you'll be able to see it. Oh yeah. Now I have to do the scary part of sanding. I'm a little scared. I'll try my best, of course. The reason I'm scared is because this foam is so thin. I really don't know which type of sandpaper I should be using. The only video I looked up about using a Dremel is go in the same motion the Dremel's going. I should probably look up more videos, huh? Time to put my mask on again. Whoop-dee-doo. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Okay, here I go. I have this tip on it. I don't know what grit that is. This is how thin the foam is. Oh, I forgot my mask. Okay, here we go. I don't think that made a difference, but I'm not gonna go any further because I'm scared. I know heat sealing can get away these little fuzzies, so I'm gonna just do that and try my best on the other pieces. Sanding all of those took so much time, but I want you to be proud of me because hold on a second. Of course, as all doing new things go, you get better as you go along. And look at this. They're rounded edges. They're not as harsh as they were. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. Here's the waist piece. You look at that. Oh my gosh. Hello. I can't wait to paint it to really see the full vision. And then here's one of the smaller pieces. I didn't do too much on it. I'm really proud of myself, guys. This is the first time I'm doing any of this, okay? I'm making armor pieces. So all those pieces are dremeled. So now that I'm done with all of that and I'm not feeling up to starting something else that's new, which is sculpting with the foam clay, I'll probably do that tomorrow. I think I'm going to try and dust the jewel pieces with the mica powder. I'm gonna try and make them look pretty. If they don't look pretty, of course I'm going to use the resin. Honestly, can you tell from far away that this is hot glue? Be honest with me. Can you tell this is hot glue? If I didn't tell you this was hot glue, would you believe it's a jewel? Now, I'm gonna make it shinier and prettier, of course, but would you believe it's hot glue if I didn't tell you? Be honest with me. Okay, I'm getting tired now. So I'm gonna start painting these with mica powder and see what I can do with that.
I feel like there was a much better way to go about this, but I chose the most difficult. I don't know why I did that. And they're not really shining, probably because I put mountains and mountain of it on. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm trying my best here. These are a bit too dark. They're supposed to be lighter like this one. Man, I don't know. I started out so good with this one. I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened. I may have to go to resin because it's not looking like a crystal. The back is. Maybe it's because this one has dimension. Ugh, I don't know, man. When you try your best and you don't succeed. That's how I'm feeling right now.
Good morning. When did I last update you guys? A few days ago, I think it was when I was making the gems. Surprise, surprise, those didn't work out. So here's one of the oval ones I made. I caved and did put some resin on top of them just to make them a little bit shinier, but it didn't work because this is way too dark for me. I want it a little lighter. So I'm gonna try again. I bought some new molds that are actually, they have a dome, so it will look a little more accurate, hopefully. The hot glue did work. I can't say it didn't. It's just, it's a little too dark. When I was putting the purple on them, I was using too dark of a purple and the resin got a little mishap. Here's the seashell though. It came out pretty, but not the right color. And I'm doing so much for this. Why not make it accurate as much as possible? I'm doing so much, so why not? And then here's another one that's supposed to be on the leg. They're not bad, they're pretty, but they're not good. I did make one of the small ones. I don't remember which this goes to. It might go to the headpiece, but this is the right color. And what I did, this is still hot glue. I put a light dusting of blue on it with the mica powder and then put the resin over it and it became the right color. So I know what I have to do when my new mold gets here, which this mold was so hard to find because I wanted bigger gems, but every gem was like 40 millimeters by 30 millimeters. So I just have to suck it up. This one is like 45 millimeters by 30. This is a constant in my videos. I try and I try and I try again, but people have constantly told me they love that I show this process. They love that I show that I mess up and how I get over it. So here we are again, messing up and trying again. I learned some things through messing up. First, wow, y'all aren't kidding about wearing protective stuff when messing with resin. Don't worry, I wore a mask, I wore gloves, and since I couldn't do anything with the gems and I still can't because I don't have my mold, I tried the foam clay. Here's what this looks like. I finished sculpting this. I hope it looks good. If you can see, and this is another failed gem. I tried covering them also with mica powder with Mod Podge. It didn't really work. Here's my sculpting. This is my first time using foam clay, so it's not going to be great. I tried my best. It is actually really annoying that foam clay gets rid of so much detail when it starts drying. I'm really sad about that. I don't know how to add detail and keep it there, but I think I got as much detail as I can with this one. I tried to make it as accurate. I'll put this here and then put the reference photo here. I tried my best. I know it's not super accurate. For my first time, I'm pretty proud of it. I could layer stuff on it if I'm not happy with it. But I tried this just so I could get used to foam clay, and wow, it really is foam now. All that to say, that's what I'm doing today. Since I did make all of these gems and it'd be a waste to not use them, I'm gonna put them in the places where the gems are supposed to be and sculpt around that. This is not my forte, man. I can craft a little bit, I can sew. Sculpting is just not my forte, man. Slight change of plans. I was going to sit down here and sculpt away for probably a few days because this takes a long time, but I think I'm going to try the gems again. I'm using the ones that I didn't like to sculpt around them. By the way, this is what this is looking like. I'm actually pretty proud of myself. I'm gonna try again. I was looking it up, which sure, I probably should have tried this before I started, but whatever. I saw people crinkle plastic, or was it cellophane, to make it look more three-dimensional, because I decided I'm gonna save some money and not get the dome pieces, canceled my order on that, and try and make it three-dimensional with just the resin and a little trick. I have no idea if it will work with the flat oval, but I'm willing to try. And it doesn't look too bad with the flat one. If they were a little more see-through and the right color, it probably wouldn't look bad. I have to get my safety precautions ready to deal with this resin. Get my workspace ready. I just wanted to sew the costume. Guys, help. Every new thing I look at on this costume, I want to make it. I am very inspired with this costume. I'm going to make her sword. I'm making the outfit. I'm making her armor pieces. I plan to DIY some shoes. Look forward to that video. Why? I don't know. Me and accuracy. It's a little scary thing. Oh yeah, the wig. Oh, the wig. Everything is just getting thrown at me, and I'm just excited to do it. Mission complete. I did the resin thing. I got it on video this time, and I'm gonna have to do that 5 more times. So hopefully I get the color mix right, because you cannot pre-mix resin no matter how airtight the container is, because it will just harden. But surprisingly, I'm more worried about the diamonds, because I could not for the life of me find a mold for diamonds as small as I wanted them and asymmetrical diamonds. So I had to do a hot glue method and then put resin over it. But I think I got the color right this time. And I will see you when the resin cures, and hopefully it is the right color and it looks pretty. Okay. Bye bye. New day. Resin work failed again. Here's how the coloring turned out this time. Pretty, but not what I'm looking for. Also, dusting it with blue first and then pouring the resin. I don't know why I did that. I thought it was gonna mix or whatever. It didn't. The hot glue pieces, too pink. And the seashell, again, same thing. Pretty, especially this part. Very pretty, but not what I'm looking for. I think I'm trying to go for the color too much. Based on the pictures, hers are more translucent with a little bit of color in there. So I think I'm just gonna go with the regular clear resin and then like sprinkle a little bit of color and mix it while it's in the mold and leave it there. I can't believe this is real life, but trial and error is part of the creating process, and that's just what I'm doing. It's just a lot more error than I'm used to. I'm getting there. I'm learning, I'm learning. And so I have learned that I just need clear resin. Speaking about yesterday, you want to see my win? Here is my win. I did the back piece and OMG. It's not fully done drying, I don't think, but look at that definition. I'm so proud of myself. This thing took forever. I could not figure out how I wanted to, couldn't figure out how I wanted it. I couldn't figure out how to do it, because again, I'm not a sculptor. It turned out so good. Especially this, because a jewel was here, and so they dried with the jewel. Okay, I'm gonna put it up and then I'll show you the side by side. Tell me how it looks, if it looks good, because I am proud of this. Compared to my first piece that I showed you, I'm getting better. I now know how to get the style I want. Like this, to make it more elevated, you have to connect it like at the very edge, like almost at the bottom, so it's lifted. And this piece right here, I twisted 2 coils and then connected it, and I'm so happy. So I got a win, and I'm more happy about this than the resin. I don't care about the resin because this worked. I will see you guys later to show you if this resin worked, and then we will be on our way to making every single gem. Hello and welcome to a new day. Last time I left you off, I was getting dejected because the gems weren't working out. I almost cried yesterday. I decided to hold back and try again, and I told you I was mixing, I forgot what I said actually, but I was mixing something in with the resin and trying again. It didn't work. They again came out too dark, sadly. This one I was okay with, TBH. I think what's messing me up is probably the mica powder, if I'm being real with you. I tried another test where I mixed two resins. No, hold on. I made one clear and one like a light purple, and then poured them both into the mold and kind of swirled it around. This is what happened, and actually I'm not mad at it, and I think I'm going to continue to do that. These came out really nice, and I have a plan. I got this vinyl. It is opal colored vinyl. If I lay the gems on there, it looks like this. I may need to make it a little darker, the purple, and I think it looks really good on top of it. And I will crinkle the vinyl so it has more dimension if the camera ever wants to share. You see that? That was my thought process. I decided not to stress myself out too much, but ultimately the parasites in my head, they're like,
get it as accurate as possible or else it won't look good.
I did more sculpting. And did I ever show you guys the chest piece? Oh no. Well, I don't know. I'm just filming whatever and hoping in editing it'll make sense. I'll try to find a screenshot for you if I didn't show you in this video, but I redid my chest piece because I just wasn't happy with it, especially with the back piece, how I was very happy with that. I gotta say, I am in love with how it looks. I did my best to remodel it. I gave it more dimension instead of it just being flat and with like holes poked in it or whatever. And this is what the gem will look like. But it's coming together. It's coming together. Another little thing I found out, you can make molds from hot glue. Now, I know what you might say. Girl, I was yelling at you from the beginning of the video to do that. I like to say I do research, but then it's just 1 or 2 videos that I've watched, and then I call it done. That's bad. Don't be like me. I just get really excited to do a project, and so I watch like 1 or 2 videos, and then I'm like, I'm proficient enough, and then I do it myself and then wonder why I'm getting upset about it. It's just very funny to me. Anyways, so no, it won't take like 5,000 years to make 5 of these. I will just model the ones, not this one. This one's precious because it's good. But the ones that are already made, I'm going to use those as a mold, put hot glue all over it, and make a mold. So I could just do them all at the same time. Hello. You see what happens when you do actual research and not just 1 or 2 videos? And those videos may just happen to be like 30-second TikToks. I'm not calling out names, but someone needs to up their game in research. Anyways, I got petroleum jelly to put on the hot glue and on the gem, because it will stick, and I don't want that. And I think I updated you on everything. So I'm going to make hot glue molds, and then I'm going to make more resin, and then I'm going to continue sculpting. Are you guys ready to finally continue this and I can get on to the painting? Let's go. Welcome to a new day. All of the pieces have foam clay and they're all done. I am so proud of them. I think they look really good. For my first time using this medium, I would say it looks pretty accurate to what I was modeling off of. I did run out of the first one I was using, so I did have to get some more, but I got a different brand and that one worked a little different from the first one I was using, and that was annoying. So now we reach our second hurdle. It's time to paint. And if you don't know, EVA foam is porous, and so I will have to heat seal it and then prime it and then paint it, which is really annoying. I went to the store today to get E6000 because I do plan to add magnets to some of the pieces so they can connect together. And the primer I will be using is Flex Seal because one, I don't think any store near me has Plasti Dip, and two, there is no two. I just got Flex Seal because it was there. So are you ready for the next installment of this video? Painting? I am. So I'm gonna go downstairs and start with the heat gun and going at it. Darn mosquito got me multiple times. Oh! So here they are all finished, and I guess it doesn't look too bad, but I'm still confused on what I should do next because it did get smooth. Some spots didn't really get covered, as you can see, but I don't know if it even has to be fully covered, and it's pretty smooth. Some parts aren't really. I don't know if I should cover them with something else or not and just paint over this. And I did do research. Everyone has a different thing they're doing, so I don't know. I think I may add maybe a layer of Mod Podge over this. Maybe, I don't know. But the cool part is, it is still flexible. I may add a layer of Mod Podge to all of these and then start painting over it. Or maybe I should try a little bit of paint on something and then see if it works. Any helpful advice is appreciated because I will be making her sword also. I don't know if I've said that before, but I will be making her sword kind of the same way. So any helpful advice you have, I appreciate it. I don't know if I'll get another $13 can of Flex Seal though. That was crazy. But I think I'm going to try a little bit of paint, and if that works, we'll get to painting. And if not, I'll try a layer of Mod Podge and see if that works. So let me catch you up on some things that happened. First, cat. Hi, Coco. Second, I did try to paint it, right? I was doing a bunch of concoctions and everything, but I wasn't getting the color I wanted. And then I tried it. I thought this color was off, so I didn't try it at first. I tried it.
Hello? It looks really good.
And you can see the other pieces out on the balcony right now. Right there too, the neck piece. And then here is one of the back pieces with the gem and all the weathering and stuff. Hello? I don't know why I didn't try this and then thought to like weather it or do shadowing and highlights. I don't know what's wrong with me, man, but hello? It looks really good. And when I get all the shiny stuff in it, oh my gosh, there's a lesson hidden in that. It just goes to show maybe you're making it harder on yourself than you really need it to be. I had that perfectly good metallic gold spray at my disposal, but I chose to make my own concoction when I did not need to. I do have to weather it a little bit, and then I will spray them all with this Mod Podge sealer. And I got some pieces, and all we need to do is add the embellishments, which are the gems and the whatever else is on them. And then I'm done with my armor. I'm almost done with my armor. And then I gotta make a sword. Hopefully the sword is easier. It should be, right? I'm not sure. I had to switch foam clays in between, and the foam clay that I got stunk. Now, the foam clay I showed at the beginning of the video, that was a good foam clay. It dried good. It did what it was supposed to. But then I had to get this brand. Very bad. It was actually worse. The more you put water on it, it wouldn't stick to the foam, and it started cracking. Like, this is just from me trying this on. Do you see this? It's cracking. I don't know what to do to fix it. I tried to put hot glue on it. It's still cracking. It was cracking before I painted it, so I added more foam clay to try and fix that, but it's still not working. It makes me so sad because look at this. And that's a very important point because it connects to the rest of the piece. So yeah, if you ever need foam clay, I do not recommend this brand.